Hello and welcome to vlog number 38. This week is a bit of a self-indulgent vlog because it's all about me. I decided to try to capture the essence of my week. A week where I travelled to London, had a night out with my children, had my DBS neurostimulator adjusted and had to deal with the fallout from that. Last Sunday my wife and I drove to Stevenage to meet up with my daughter, who's been living there for the last year whilst on an industry placement as part of her biochemistry degree, and my son, who was driven up from Dorset with his girlfriend. We caught a train into London and went to the Blues Bar in Soho for the afternoon and evening. Sunday afternoon is a blues jam. Musicians turn up in their numbers to play improvised and unrehearsed blues together. The quality of the musicianship is outstanding, and we have an amazing afternoon listening to live music and drinking far too much beer. It's midnight by the time we get back to Stevenage and get to bed. The following morning, Monday, my wife and I travel back into London on the train. I have an appointment at the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery to have my neurostimulator, which is part of my DBS, adjusted. My DBS has to be adjusted regularly to take care of the progression of my Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease is an incurable, progressive neurological condition, which means that it is a condition which affects the brain and central nervous system, will worsen over time, and from which you do not get better. Deep brain stimulation, or DBS, masks some of the symptoms of the illness to give an improved quality of life to the person with Parkinson's. It is not a cure. I still have Parkinson's and it continues to progress behind the scenes. As my Parkinson's progresses, DBS can become less effective at masking symptoms, and so the neurostimulator, which is a kind of pacemaker for the brain, needs to be reprogrammed to take account of the progression and bring symptoms back under control again. My tremor has been steadily getting worse over the last few months. And although I have a remote control for my DBS which enables me to make some adjustments, I have now reached the limits of the adjustments that I am permitted to make, hence my hospital appointment. The best results I have ever had from DBS were the first settings that I had following my surgery. I felt strong, my slowness of movement had been banished, muscular stiffness and weakness were a thing of the past. Tremor was completely under control. My mood and motivation had gone stratospheric. Unfortunately, these settings also had the side effects of dyskinesia and impulsive behaviour, and so were quickly changed for settings that did not exhibit these side effects. In discussion with the DBS nurse at the hospital who was performing my adjustments, we decided to try going back to those original settings to see if the undesirable side effects had been as a result of swelling in the brain as a consequence of the recent surgery. She made the necessary changes and sent me away for half an hour to walk around, see how my behaviour was, see how I felt. I felt okay. I sensed a lightening of mood when the settings were changed, and my voice, which had been weak and husky, came back strong and loud. There was still some tremor in my left leg, but I was happy to compromise on a little tremor control if the trade-off was a stronger voice. My wife noticed that I'd also regained some facial expression. My walking, whilst not perfect, was improved too. We returned to see the nurse after half an hour, agreed that the settings appeared to be fine, and then set off on our journey back to Norfolk. That night I woke in discomfort, thrashing around in bed and with dystonia in my neck, evidently as a result of my new settings. When I got up the next morning, I felt distinctly odd and edgy. Definitely not myself. My eyes felt a bit strange, and dyskinesia was making things a little tricky as well. The only thing that was still acceptable was my voice. I decided to revert to the previous settings which the DBS nurse had stored in my device, and things quickly returned to relative normality. My leg muscles were very tight following the walking that I'd done on the Sunday and Monday, and I was in a fair amount of discomfort on the Tuesday. as well as feeling physically exhausted. So about the only thing I did that day was to walk the dog. The dog is my lifeline, and without her there is no doubt that I would spend most of my days sitting indoors. She loves to have someone around during the day, so we're good company for one another. Wednesday, I felt a little less fatigued. My legs had almost completely seized up, and I had pain from hip to toe. Getting up and down the steep staircase in our little cottage was a bit of a challenge. I tried the new settings again on a number of occasions, usually when I noticed my voice becoming weaker again, but dyskinesia is instantly noticeable. My eyelids become very heavy and have a rather disturbing tendency to clamp themselves shut. My wife knows when I'm on the new settings. She says that I'm not myself and attributes it to a change in body language. I'll continue to use my old settings, just switching to the new ones when I feel the need to give my voice a boost. I expect I'll be making another appointment for adjustment in the not too distant future. Friday morning, my legs are feeling more like they should be feeling, which is a relief. I received a package in the post this morning from my son, who sent me the t-shirt that I'm wearing now, printed with the logo that I use to brand all of my YouTube videos these days. So thank you, Rory, it's very much appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or have a topic that you'd like me to cover in future vlogs, just leave me a message in the comments and I'll do my best to respond. Have a great week. See you next Friday.